straight in together. Let me see if I can share this on Facebook real quick. Haven't really sat down and did a lot of live the last couple of days. I wanted to did a quick live today on my YouTube. So let me get all my platforms going as my audience build. And this is going to be more of a open discussion platform where I want you all more involved, right, in the answering and the input. But hello. Thank you for the digital love everywhere. From Facebook to YouTube to the scope, Periscope. Can you all hear me? Is everything good? The sound good? Give me some digital love. Hit that thumbs up. Hello, Brandon, my second time. Thank you so much for sending some digital love. I decided to go live on my page today on Facebook because I have a lot of top fans on my Facebook page, and oftentimes I don't go live there enough for my top fans on my Facebook page. So thank you for being my top fans. I do read my messages on my page. I want to give my Facebook page some more digital love. Hello, Perry. Hello, everyone from the YouTube. Romney Rome. Hello, Percy. Right, we're going to have hello, Foster, Arnie Foster. Hello. Cat Stouts KP. All right, let's have some intelligent discussion tonight. Will America make cash great again? Will we make cash great again, right? Where should we be headed as we are going forward? So many people are concerned about their health, as well as they should be, right? As well as they should be, but I don't think enough people are keeping their eye on the economy, right? So many people are concerned about their health. I just don't think enough people are keeping their eye on what's going on in the economy. Thank you, Daniel, Mr. Beasley on my Facebook for that digital love. Periscope, make sure that you share this with your followers. Really trying to build my Periscope audience even more and my Periscope views, right? So I hope I have all intellectuals in the room tonight to have some serious conversations. If you did not join my live earlier today, right? Earlier today, I did a very brief live, and for me, brief is like 30 minutes. So I hope I'll be just as brief tonight on the interview from NRP, because January, right? That expected in July, you should see the implementation of the FICO 10, the new credit score changes. And that, in effect, will affect 40 million Americans' credit scores, right? 40 million Americans' credit scores. And so with those changes, with those effects, what would that look like, right? Will you be the 40 million American that will get a decrease in their credit score? Or for some 40 million Americans, you will see an increase. And so I read the article from NRP discussing how that people of color, right, people of color in the Black and brown community were more subject to predatory lending and predatory loans. And I don't know why that's so. I don't know if it's because of a lack of credit education, right? A lack of credit education, or just living above your means, right? I don't know what's the key point, but I have always come live, take out my time to give you some credit education. I've been deemed as the queen of credit on that subject. And there's a lot of people who are now really trying to push this credit agenda and to help in that mission as well. Now, you have some people who still did not or don't believe that the FICO 10 will be here, but let me propose to you that it's already here, right? Let me submit to you that FICO 10 is already here. Now, if you don't know, This was not a result of FHA, right? But banks took it upon themselves to change their criteria for approval for loans, right? When it comes to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which includes FHA loans. So the banks took it upon themselves. And so sometimes I have some people that will comment, well, I don't think the banks will adopt this. This was not FHA guidelines. This was the actual banks, the Bank of Americans, the Chase, the JP Morgan, a lot of the big banks, right, and some of the smaller branches decided that they would change their credit scoring guidelines. So previously, FHA loans with a 580 credit score, and when I say previously, I'm speaking of just as recently as last week. The 580 credit score, most banks would give you FHA approval for loan, being that everything else was in place, your income, your debt to income ratio, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the banks just recently changed that to a 640, and some banks as high as a 680, right? So it went from 580 to 640, 680. Now, for the person that just want to be the home buyer, this affects you as well. But as you all know, during times of recession, the rich get richer, right? The rich get richer. So meaning that this is the time that rich and wealthy people are made rich and wealthy. So I've really shifted the mindset or the paradigm of some people to think of their credit more than just to buy liabilities. Like I said, to use and to leverage your credit to create cash flow, right? And you create cash flow by using your credit to get assets, right? Things that will bring money into your life, not things that would take money out of your life, right? And so I had this conversation with a client today, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to go live tonight, and I am going live because the client had money and equity in her home, right? Had the equity, she was able to liquidate and use the equity in her house, wanted to become now an investor, had a shift of mindset, had analyzed a very good real estate deal that she wanted to invest in to obtain the property, and had a client that was attending pharmaceutical school. And with this pandemic right now, anyone that's in the pharmaceutical or consider an essential employee that wants to rent from you will be a great opportunity, in my opinion, right? And because this person's credit was not in alignment, could not pull their cash or their equity out of their house, right? It's more than one way to get cash. So my question to you all, what will cash make a comeback? Will cash be great again? What's your viewpoint on cash? And when I say cash, I'm talking about printed money. Speaking of currency, because the dollar by the day is losing its purchasing power. And what I mean by that is it takes more dollars now to purchase things today than it did yesterday, right? Or will we enter into a more digital society? I came before you with a video that even the stimulus package, right? The wording on the article from Forbes says US dollar will go digital. Do you think we will go more into the crypto digital world? And then if so, how will your credit play a role in that as far as getting more cash flow, right? Or giving you a better return on your investment into your life? So Mark Williams on YouTube said no. Easy said housing market is about to crash. The recession is due to the CV and people being laid off, not able to pay mortgage or rent. You're right, Easy. And a lot of people are so focused on CV and they're not focusing on, number one, maybe their 401k at this point, right? The Dow lost some points today, lost some gains as well. they're not looking at their own 401k, right? Or they're not positioning their 401k where they won't be losing money in the market, right? But they won't be gaining, but you can at least cash out your 401k where you won't be losing money in the market. But people are definitely not looking at credit, and they're not looking at the changes of the economy and the changes that our federal government wants to do at this time, as far as having more digitalized electronic transaction and less cash, right? Less printed money transactions. So what do you all think? Do you think the dollar, the printed money, will remain king, right? Will remain king. That, it's said that cash is king. Or do you think crypto will be king? Now, I always have stated that credit is queen, right? Not just because I'm the queen of credit, right? But credit is queen, in my opinion, because with credit, you can do, or you can leverage it to create more cash flow into your life and get real assets. It's something that you can create out of thin air, 3 digits, right? 3 digits, and it can bring you a continual cash flow, and you can actually have physical assets, real assets. That's why real estate is called real estate, because it's real assets. It's tangible, it's touchable, right? Real assets into your life. And credit, right, just like in the game of chess, is able to make versatile moves. And a lot of people don't understand that credit is an asset as well. Credit is an asset as well. Credit is leverage, people, and credit is power. Just like in the game of chess, in this financial game, credit is power. So, Phoenix 33, don't be blinded by the CV. Thank you, Queen. Yeah, thank you so much. I am trying to prepare you all for the wealth transfer, right? Now, let me say this about credit and why credit is power and why credit is queen and this financial transfer, right? Because without good credit, you cannot grow or expand, right? With cash, for example, when cash is depleted, when cash is gone, I don't care if you have it stored in your mattress or in your safe at home. When cash is depleted, when cash is gone, it's gone. Credit can recycle, right? And it's called revolving credit on credit cards, because you can use it and continue to recycle, rinse, and repeat, and use it continuously over and over and over again, long as you use it in a healthy way, pay down the balance, reuse the balance to acquire more assets, right? So credit gives you power, it gives you more purchasing power. Mark Williams on the tube said it is easy for them to have more control over everything if they eliminate cash. And Mark, that's a true statement. Now, also, biblically, the Bible praises credit over silver and gold, right? The Bible praises credit over silver and gold. Biblically, the Bible praises credit over silver and gold, meaning the Bible says a good name, right, is better than silver and gold. Physical silver and gold, as much as I preach and proclaim for you all to get that silver stacking report that you can find on my website at www.fixmycreditandcash.com. But the Bible says a good name is to be desired or wanted more than physical silver or gold, right? Because with your credit, right, with your credit, you can become financially free, also mentally free and emotionally free, right? Fixing your financial life can open up so many other doors of prosperity and peace for you. So having the opportunity, even in the FICO 10 approaching in July 10th, the banks, and I always say the banks will tighten up their lending, their lending guidelines, but credit unions and Navy Federal is always my number one. I think Navy Federal is the king of credit unions. Credit unions always lend, right, in times of recession. And I think people often get credit unions confused with banks. Credit unions do not operate under the same auspices or the same guidelines as banks do, right? They're made up of members. They have their own rules. They have their own regulations. And in times of recession, they are credit friendly, right? So you need to get your credit in place because you don't know if your job will be eliminated, if you'll be furloughed, if your hours will be cut back. You don't know what the future may hold. We have millions of Americans right now, this week alone, that are applying for unemployment. And people, some of these jobs may never be replaced. Some of these jobs are gone forever because one of the health issues that we're having is with AI, right? Artificial intelligence. But the thing is, I mean, with 5G, but 5G is not going anywhere, even though they know of the health, because 5G has to be here to stem artificial intelligence, people. It has to be here to have the driving vehicles, to have more robotics do the job of humans. And that's the whole ideal and concept, even though it's causing health issues and health pandemic of 5G being installed in your community, in your city, right? Or in your state, right? So let me read some of the comments on the tube. Nadia B said, many are called to credit ministry. A few answer and spread the truth. Thank you so much for Nadia B. Thank you so much for those comments. On it, Foster, so you don't have to worry about your score dropping. Yes, you do. You do have to worry about your score dropping. In the report that I read today from NRP, it stated 40 million American scores would drop at nothing that they have done. And the reason why your scores would drop because now under the FICO 10, right? Under FICO 10 is going to include all of your debts more heavily than it did in the previous or at this current state or at this current time. So we're in March. This is supposed to be implemented in, okay, I'm just reading a comment. This is supposed to be implemented in July. I don't know if it's going to be at the beginning of July or the end of July. And what will happen is the FICO 10, under the FICO 10, it will now look at the 2-year history of your credit report. And now we're under FICO 8 and FICO 9. Now, a lot of people didn't know, or they were not in position that FICO 9 would have gave them better ratings, better credit. Actually, Navy Federal uses FICO 9 scoring model now as well. With FICO 9, you had to have on average of $400 or more in your credit report, and you had to request that lenders and banks use that, right? If you wanted approval. Now, some requests, Wells Fargo is already using FICO 9. Navy Federal is already using FICO 9. Most of FICO 8 is for your vehicles when you're going shopping for a vehicle, right? So the banks and lenders have already, they didn't wait till July. They have already stated that right now we are changing for you to get approved for our FHA loans from a 580 credit score, not FHA now, but the banks adopted this, from a 580 credit score requirement to now a 640 to a 680. So some people that already had loans under contract, those contracts would not go through. So if these were investors or people that just want to be home buyers, those contracts would not go through. And I'm so tired of the posting on social media of Credit Karma scores that only will show you your Vantage score. And it only shows you 2 out of the 3 credit reports anyway, as proof that someone is good in the industry of credit repair. First of all, that's not what banks and lenders will use, right? If you want to know your true credit score, go to myfico.com, right? myfico.com. I had someone to contact me today, say, hey, I want to be a home buyer. I'm tired of renting. Where's the true place I can look at my credit score? And I told that person, go to myfico.com. I think it's $29.99 or maybe $39.99. I haven't looked. Let me look that up now. And that person told me, well, I'll just, wait until the person that I'm working with tell me if they think I will get it approved or not. And I'm thinking you may not. Okay, you can start the very basic plan for my FICO at $19.95 a month. And then they have a $29.95 plan, right? And then that's the advanced plans to give you your FICO scores, to give you your scores for your mortgages, your auto loans, and more. Gives you your credit report, and it also provides you your credit score and monitoring, right? You get $1 million of identity theft insurance as well, and 24/7 identity theft restoration, identity monitoring for $29.95. Or you can get their Premier for $39.95, right? Complete 3 credit score coverage, your updates every month, and it always emphasizes FICO score. So this person told me, oh, instead of spending the $29 or $39 or $19, I just wait and see what my lender said if I get approved. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're not willing to spend $29 or $39, right? I heard Mr. George Pitt say today on Periscope that you cannot have a $29 or $39 mindset trying to make a 6-figure purchase. So if you tell me you want to be a home buyer or even an investor, and you're not willing to pay $29 or $39 to make a 6-figure purchase to see where you stand, you're not ready. Your mindset is not ready. Your mindset is not ready, right? And if I would definitely not enter into this recession, which is deemed to be a really global depression, they're comparing this to the 1930s Great Depression, but it's going to be globally, meaning all the countries are affected financially at this point because of this health pandemic, because of this 5G that's been installed throughout the country. And so if you're not willing to spend $29 or $39 or whatever it may cost you credit repair, then you're not ready to live a better lifestyle, right, as it relates to your finances and your credit. And I've been forewarning people the entire time that I'm telling them, hey, Experian just changed their scoring model. Thank you so much, Periscope. Says so true. Experian had just changed their scoring model to include now credit and finance, right? Even Credit Karma changed it to where they were bought out by Intuit to include the financial aspect, because the biggest changes in the FICO 10 that's going to be fully adopted in July, even though it's already here, in my opinion, is that all of your debts. See, under our old model, if you pay down your credit card debts, right? If you pay down your credit card debt, that will automatically increase your credit score. You could carry a high automobile debt, a high student loan debt, still get approved for housing, high personal loan debt. But the vice president of FICO in the article I read today stated, say, hey, we saw people manipulating the system that way, right? They will get personal loans out to pay down credit cards debt to increase their score. And now we have more people who were risky to lend to, right, than creditable people. See, when recession comes, and if you look on myfico.com, they have an updated reporting called the resilience score, right? The resilience score. Under the resilience score, and this is something new with myfico.com, it clearly states that this is a new scoring system because they don't want to repeat with the recession of 2008 and providing loans to risky borrowers that are defaulting on their loans. So banks do this at this time to protect themselves and the assets, right? They know that, hey, if we get people to bankrupt or foreclose on homes, we have to protect our assets. We have to have more assets in our possession, right? So we can continue to function as a bank and financial institution. Thank you, Periscope. So it's going again. The credit bureau is always a great backup plan for you in times of recession. And I always say that I would rather have credit and not need it than to need credit and not have it. So credit allows you to leverage others people's time and money, right? And not just your own. So let me repeat that. Credit allows you to leverage other people's time or the bank's time and money, not your own. See, rich people buy time, poor people sell theirs. And that's why I've been so desperately trying to get you all also to invest in businesses as well. I know I talk about silver investment. I know I discuss real estate investment, but I've been trying to get you all to invest in businesses as well. And what better business to invest in during this time when, FICO 10 is coming than a home base, right? Everybody is in quarantine anyway. Why not invest in a home-based credit repair business, right? And I'm getting people to partnership to do this with me. I can't service our 40 million Americans. No credit person can service that many. Somebody's going to have to service these people, and some people will be out of a job. So why not take the time to invest in a business and help people get their credit repair that still are not awake or woke, that knowing that this will happen, they're not tuning in and listening and get educated like you are. They don't know. And when August hit, they're going to need credit repair services. So go on my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com, right? And message me and say, hey, Queen, I want to connect with you in the home-based credit repair business for a small investment of $249, and I will send you more information on it. AD Hinton on Facebook says, cash is king, credit is queen, leverage is power, passive cash flow is freedom. So you still think, Mr. Hinton, that cash is king, being that the dollar is depreciating on a daily basis, it's losing its purchasing power? So where does that put crypto? Right? Since we're doing with alliterations, we're going to keep it with the C's, the cash, the credit, the crypto, and cash flow. We're going to keep it with the alliterations. I love alliterations. So where does that put crypto in this bracket? You have Bitcoin right now. That's at, let's see, what's the price at Bitcoin? Rick said, this is really getting rougher. Rick said, sorry about your husband. The Phoenix said, thank you, Rick. Okay, let me read what's going on. My husband spoke to me about making sure I didn't miss this wave before he passed last week, paying off credit cards since January. High 600s need inquiries removed. I'm on board with it. I'm sorry about your husband too. I'm sorry. I just read that message on Facebook, but this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion, and it's really let me try to see where Bitcoin is priced. It takes a different mindset shift, people, but this is my opinion. Okay. Mr. Hinton on Facebook said digital cash. He changed it. He said digital cash is king. Okay. But hey, there may be some people that with bad credit and that they have the cash to give to, take to the banks. Let me see, Bitcoin. It's down 3% today. It's at $6,294 right now at this recording. It's 24/7. But crypto is definitely a new asset class, and it's definitely a new asset along with your credit that you need to look into, right? I will say this, I'm learning about all the stable coins. I'm learning about the altcoins. and I'm learning about Bitcoins. What I do know about Bitcoins is that, about the crypto, the bigger coins and Bitcoins in particular, is that Bitcoin is the people's currency, right? It has no governmental control right now. You got Bitcoin, you got EOS. It's the people's currency. It's controlled by the people. It's powered by the people. Now, if the government comes out with their own digital dollar, right, that may trump Bitcoin. A lot of people think that the Federal Reserve or the central banks will take over Bitcoin. Bitcoin and EOS would be good for the people, right? It would be good for the people, but other cryptocurrencies might be better for the government, which means government will have more control of us, other people. So if Bitcoin over Bitcoin, I do believe that we'll move digitalized. I'm just not 100% on Bitcoin, right? So if cash is king, whether it be digitally or whatever, what happens when you run out of it, right? So let me say that again. If cash is king, what happens when you run out of it, when you run out of currency? And so back to Phoenix 33, what I was stating, when you tell me, now again, I'm sorry for your loss and your husband. I wouldn't be so sure right now that my focus would be to pay off debts. And if I had any additional money, extra or additional, I wouldn't just dump that all on debt, especially if I did not know my financial future or my job. I would pay the minimal payments that's due to keep my accounts in good standing. But what I would do is look for investing opportunity to put my additional or extra cash in so that I can have an asset that's producing me income. Because what use is it for you to take all of your savings? I just saw an article that the government will not penalize people for taking out of their 401ks, right? Which I think is terrible. Because then what does that mean for the people's retirement? And, but anyway, the government is bailing out businesses and et cetera and everything. And as of this point, I don't think I know they're only talking about giving the American people $1,200 one-time payment, right? So if I had additional extra cash, I would definitely look to invest that in an asset that can bring me more cash flow in. And then as I get the cash flow coming in, I can accumulate the cash flow. And then I can pay down debt, right? Because I know, that's why I posed the question, what happens when you run out of currency? So many people follow Dave Ramsey, but he never gives them a game plan of what to do to create more cash flow. And actually, cash flow could be considered king, right? Because if you have money coming in, right, on a monthly basis, you can build up your credit. You can have a great asset in your corner, and you won't always just have to depend on the lifeline of a job, because we know jobs come and go, right? We know jobs come and go. If you can have other producing asset outside of your jobs, right? And that's why I'm trying to get people to invest in this business, this home-based business as well, so that you can help when the credit crisis come. Okay, Mark Williams on the tube says in the Bible, it states that precious metal is real money. In my opinion, that's what it would always be. Mark, I have to agree with you as well. That is what the Bible states. Right now, I think the spot price for silver is $14. I think a spot price. I think silver moving forward in the future will drastically increase. So it's at an affordable price right now, where I think silver online is selling for like $25 an ounce. The spot price $14, you may can go somewhere locally and buy it for just $3 or $4 over the spot price of silver, right? But you need to know what silver rounds to invest in, because silver is not only money, it's an industrial metal, right? And the silver is becoming just as scarce right now as gold. So silver is used for other things like computers, solar panels, exchange of money. During a recession, you'll hear the announcements announced on hourly the prices of silver as the adjustments are being made, and Bitcoin just is increasing as I'm talking. And so you will have the price. But I will say this about Bitcoin too. Bitcoin is the king of currency right now because it controls the smaller, the altcoins and the stable coins. Where Bitcoin goes, so does the market goes, right? And so also you all get that silver stacking report from me. The number 5 silver round announced on my silver stacking report will bring you a 300% return on your investment. And that's just for a small fee of $25, right? That silver stacking report. Go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. So you know what you're buying, you know what you're investing in, and you know what silver rounds and bullions or coins do not have to be taxed at the highest rate. For example, there are silver rounds, coins, or bullions that you can purchase that when you sell back to the dealer, they do not have to report a 1099-B form to the IRS, which means you get a full return on your investment without being taxed 20 to 30%, right? So silver is always a great investment at this time. Of course, your own home-based business, I recommend partnership with me for a small investment of $249 for credit repair. Credit repair is booming. You're going to hear more people on social media that's talking about credit right now. They're selling courses for credit. They're selling do-it-yourself, right? You just got to wake up. Wake Up said, just Google silver is $14.22 per ounce. Thank you, Wake Up on YouTube. Says silver is $14.22. Silver is going to be up. I mean, it's used. People are during this global depression that's approaching us. People are going to have more in-house solar panels installed by Tesla. They want to do more gardening inside and our solar energy. And all of that has to be used as silver, which is going to make silver a high commodity that people, Phoenix 33, thank you so much, says get the silver stacking report that people is going to invest in. So silver will give you a higher rate of return for your investment. And I think it's great for the middle class because gold right now is about $1,500 an ounce. So silver is very affordable, right? So get your silver, get you some knowledge on crypto as well, right? And make sure your credit is prepared. If you right now credit score is under a 680, I would definitely improve my credit, right? Because again, I asked you what happens when you run out of cash, whether we're talking about printed cash, right? And also, I don't know if you all know, but I use my credit cards to invest in my crypto with as well, and the altcoins and the crypto coins. So a lot of people have been chasing money. People, you don't need to chase money. You need to chase a good credit score. I'm going to say that again. Stop chasing money and chase a good credit score and leverage more of your credit, right? Rick says silver will probably go up 85 to 1 after the dollar collapse. I do agree with that. Mark Williams says all coins today have copper and silver like they had back in the day. They should tell us something. Exactly. And copper wouldn't be a bad investment as well if you can get, on copper, right? So every time you go to work, your employer leverage you, right? They leverage your talents, your time. You need to learn how to leverage your credit, people. Stop chasing money and start chasing your credit. Use the bank's money. And you know what? You can focus on making $1 million and chasing money, right, in your lifetime. You can focus on that, or you can focus on taking it 10 to 15 minutes of your time to sign your name and to get the bank's $1 million. And credit right now is cheap. It's cheap currency. It's cheap money. Credit is digital money too, right? Credit is digital money too. So a good name is more desirable, silver and gold, but I do suggest you get you some silver. Get gold too, of course, if you can afford gold. It's about $1,500 an ounce. Gold is more for kings. Silver is for queens. Just like credit is for queen, credit is queen. I don't think credit is king. Credit is the most powerful piece you can add in your financial plan, your financial piece. And YouTube, before I sign off, you all hit those thumbs up. Show the channel some digital love. All right, it's 9:13. I'm getting ready to log off. But I did think about doing a Queen of Coins crypto report. I'm not sure if that's something I want to do. Periscope, thank you so much for the digital love. But it was just not really recommending you what crypto to buy or invest in. I have an account with 𝒞𝓄.com, crypto.com. That app is very user friendly. I can buy some of the smaller altcoins on crypto.com. And so that's the platform I use. I have a little bit in Coinbase first, but crypto.com has more apps altcoins that I can get that Coinbase does not have, right? So someone just bought the silver stacking report. I will email that to you. And I'm gonna give you one example, and I might do it quick because this is financial education. I don't give financial advice. Definitely wouldn't tell you, I just let you know, financially educate you on cryptocurrency. So I'm thinking about doing a Queen of crypto report as well. I already have the Queen of Coins silver stacking report, but this is just in my notes that something just little things you might need to know, like what's the altcoin that supports Bitcoin, right? And I did mention that Bitcoin and EOS is the people's money, is global money. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that central banks will adopt it. I really don't. I think it's another coin central banks will adopt, like just a breakdown of what altcoins that I have in my portfolio and why. So I'm thinking about doing a Queen of Coins crypto report, but you definitely need to learn about digital money, about crypto as well. But definitely get your credit right. Use the bank's love. Mark Williams said, "What is digital love?" Mark, digital love is when someone hit the thumbs up on YouTube or on Periscope. Someone give me those hearts, and the hearts is going. Facebook, when someone give me the hearts on Facebook or hit the thumbs up. So that's digital love. That's the digital love. I'm not talking about digital currency. Thank you, Periscope, for the digital love. So that's what I call digital love. Hey, I thank you all. It's been a very, very trying day. Mark just gave me an emoji on YouTube. Digital love. Thank you, Mark. I'm signing off. This is the Queen of Credit here. You all have a great, great night. Here's to your peace and your prosperity and to your credit and your cash flow. Queen of Credit out.